Well, hello everybody. Welcome back. We're going to breakfast.
We're here at Keno's in Anaheim Hills, which is about like 20 or so minutes from Disneyland.
Yeah.
Just for your reference. But we're going to have breakfast and we're going to talk to you about the graffiti and the painting that Spence did. We didn't end up doing a second live stream. And so we're going to kind of answer some of your questions, talk a little bit about the whole experience.
Show the final piece, the result.
Yes, and have breakfast because we're hungry.
Starving. All right, let's go.
Okay, so we're here at Keno's in Anaheim Hills, and this is Spencer's first time coming here. I've been coming here for a long time, but I told him, I was like, we need to try breakfast here just so you can see how amazing it is. It's almost like the Peppermill of Anaheim Hills, the Peppermill of Orange County. So yeah, it's amazing. Now we are sitting under a very bright light, so I just want to apologize for how not great I look right now. It's not flattering. But we can't control lighting?
She's blaming the lighting designer.
I'm blaming the light.
Not cool.
That's how bad I look.
Rick, sorry, man. I wasn't.
No, Rick.
He's the lighting designer. She doesn't even know our lighting designer's name. It's embarrassing. I know all of the crew members' names. Rick,
Terrible.
Tom, Jerry. Dave's not here. Dave's in the bathroom, sorry. But anyways.
Okay, so I ended up, because I was between the cinnamon roll and the chocolate chip pancake, I got one of each, so I'm really excited to try that.
Well, they had, I mean, it's a vast menu, so it's tough when you're hungry to come here and go like, ooh, I want that. Ooh, I want that. It's
okay,
amazing.
well, I'm going to try the coffee now.
Here.
Thank you.
It's
okay.
good stuff.
It's the classic. It's an American institution. I'm going to say that all day. They actually serve a Monte Cristo. We didn't get it because we wanted breakfast.
Yeah.
But if you want a Monte Cristo, it's kind of hard to get at Disneyland now.
If you want a Cristo, you don't want
Do they even serve a Monte Cristo at Disneyland now? I know they have that snack size one that was really bad.
I believe they still do at the,
Cafe Orleans?
Cafe Orleans, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Correct us if we're wrong here.
I mean, I would think that they would. Let me adjust this.
I would think that they would, but we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
This coffee is really good, and I'm not just saying that, but I kind of have forgotten, and I just took a sip, and wow, that is good. It's kind of like your classic, your classic diner.
And I didn't have coffee at home today, so this is my first.
You didn't?
No.
You made a whole pot for what?
Well, sometimes it just depends on how the morning's going. Sometimes my stomach in the morning is a little not ready for something as intense as the coffee that we like, because we like rich coffee. So like even smelling it sometimes it'll be like, whoa. Like,
I am the opposite. I go to bed thinking about how good coffee is going to taste first thing in the morning.
No, it's not about the taste. It's just about my stomach can't handle all of that right away.
Mine is ready for it. Like the minute I open my eyes, I'm like, I need coffee injected into my stomach right now.
Although,
in my veins.
The other day when you brought me coffee when we were painting, it was so good. It was like,
it hit
and I don't even know if it was like.
It was 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven, and it was hitting because when I do that stuff, I just get lost in it, and I forget to drink water, I forget to eat, I forget to do anything that's like put on sunscreen, anything I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
For my own good.
Oh, yeah. Our food's here.
All right, it has arrived. Dude, O'Brien potatoes.
I told you.
Conan O'Brien potatoes. And the Greek omelet, there it is. Katie, these smell so amazing. Now, our waitress said that, I think she came up with these cinnamon pancakes.
The cinnamon roll pancakes. Yeah. Renee came up with them, and I am very excited. Oh my God. It's heaven on earth. You need to try a bite.
Oh, man.
Isn't that insane?
That's
without
really good.
Butter and syrup.
That is amazing.
You.
Thank you, sir.
And I know I have your toast coming up.
Dude.
It's so good.
I've never had anything like that.
Yeah.
That's really good. How come people don't make those?
I mean, I don't.
Only a Keno's, sorry.
Yeah, you
gotta come to Keno's.
It's a Keno's specialty.
All right, let's get into the Greek omelet here.
The butter really did add another layer.
You can tell that it's real eggs in the omelet.
Mm-hmm.
Fluffy.
Thank you.
Fluffy.
Thank you so much.
Now the O'Brien potatoes,
They're the best.
you don't even need ketchup because
You
they're
can't
that
get
good.
better.
Try it.
Yes.
Those are amazing.
I know.
Dude.
And it's like you can't stop. Even if you're going to burst.
Yeah.
No, you're still
Yeah.
going to eat them.
I was
And
like, how
I'm
come I've
glad I'm
never
going to
had
have
those before?
leftovers too.
O'Brien potatoes, you don't even need ketchup.
No, you don't.
They're so good.
Here's the chocolate chip pancake. It's like a perfectly done pancake. I think Pixar Charlie's going to want to come here.
You think?
He's a pancake man. I need to have some O'Briens though, by the way, because
really good.
I've been missing them.
Sourdough toast, lightly buttered. What I like to do is take a little bit of that omelet, throw it on my toast.
Literally.
Little open-faced action. So I've been wanting to come to do we haven't done a breakfast in a while, like out.
No.
And it's like, once I finished that painting, I was like, I wanted to do this the next morning. Like, we didn't get to, but
It was hard. It was the painting missions are missions for us.
they are.
It's a lot. All right, I'm going to try this chocolate chip pancake. I'm going to put just a little bit of syrup on it. I even kind of want to put a little syrup on just a touch, just so I can get the complexity of the flavor. You know what I mean? All right. I love that they're the mini chocolate chips. Oh, and there's chocolate chips inside.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
That is the fluffiest pancake. You know, I used to think IHOP had the best pancakes. I was wrong. These pancakes here, I think I'm going to get some for my grandparents and bring some to them because...
The cinnamon ones or the chocolate chip?
No, regular for
Oh,
them.
the regular.
They're just like plain good
Good pancakes. Just kind of basking in the afterglow of the cinnamon roll pancakes.
Yeah, we got food to go.
Those things are
And
so good.
They are
Disneyland needs to like do something like that. You know what? But if they don't, it's cool. I'll just come here.
so yeah, it's really good because, like I said, we get it to go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring my grandparents. I'm gonna place an order for some pancakes and bacon. They appreciate some pancakes
Some
and bacon.
flapjacks.
Some flapjacks.
I love when they call them flapjacks.
We actually have a place called Flappy Jacks over
That's true.
over yonder.
That is
somewhere
true.
in Anaheim Hills too.
I'm still tired, by the way. I'm still feeling it from painting, and I'm a little sore.
Spence went to paint a wall in Long Beach.
Yeah,
So we did that.
I got invited by a couple of friends to join them on a wall that they had painted about 8 years ago. Some of the people that painted on this run weren't on that wall originally, but some were. Anyways, the way it works with that kind of stuff, because I think some people were kind of like, "What is this? What are you doing?" I've been a graffiti artist since, I don't know, 1984 is when I first started kind of like really
Before I was born, folks.
getting into it. It was that hip hop era where it was all about, hip hop basically was rocking, if you want to break it down. Rocking the turntables, rocking the dance floor, rocking the mic, rock the walls. I couldn't break dance to save my life. I was hurting myself.
I'd pay money to see that.
I tried. It just wasn't good. But I could draw a little bit, so I was like, you know what? That's kind of my contribution to hip hop culture back then, to be a part of it, because I wanted to be a part of it. It was a new thing. It was fun. So I've been doing that for a long time, and part of that is the people that you hang out with doing that stuff. You end up doing it together, and you make a crew. It's not a gang; it's just a crew. It's the people that you paint with, and you support each other, and you have a like-minded interest. So I'm in a crew called TCF. Been in that crew since probably 1987 or 8. I can't remember exactly when. And they were friends of mine who started that crew. And when I got decent enough to be in there, because they were better than me, I was part of that crew. And so TCF stands for the chosen few, or the city's finest. They're little acronyms that we come up with for names for the cruise.
A lot of people were wondering what they thought when you were like
Oh,
writing
my name.
SERF, SERF.
So-
they were like, what is that? Does that stand for something?
Right. So in graffiti culture, and this also came from hip hop for me, anyways. The hip hop culture was like you had a b-boy name, like like a moniker. And for a while, since my name was Spencer, I thought, ooh, suspense. Thought that was cool because, like I said, I was probably 12, 13, who knows. But it was a really long name. And in graffiti culture, you're doing this stuff illicitly and you're trying to get away with it. So suspense was a lot of letters. It was like I was going to not be finished with my tag and the cops were going to be coming for me. So I shortened it to S1. Somebody else took that name from me and started kind of writing it more than me. So then one of my friends said, hey, you should write surf because you're a surfer and you do graffiti. And that was kind of a rare thing at the time. There was a handful of people who surfed who did graffiti, but not that many. And so I was like, yeah, I could write surf, but I don't like the U aesthetically. I didn't like how it looked as far as like painting a wall with those letters, and E's were really popular. They're the most popular letters. So surf was it. And, a lot of people, when they came up with their names, they would change the spelling to make it their own. So that was kind of the idea also with that.
Somebody left a comment on the live stream, and I sent a bunch of I guess it was I just Googled it on a website because I feel like there actually is a lot to it with the whole the culture, whatever you want to call it. But there's actually a lot of different reasons why graffiti tag names are either misspelled, spelled phonetically. There's a lot of reasons why, and obviously we'd be here. I feel like that's a whole video to dive into.
Oh, yeah.
And it would be really cool if someone would make one explaining that, but there's so many different reasons.
I'm sure
yours was spelling, so many different reasons, writing it out.
It was
whatever.
aesthetics, it was spelling, it was making it my own. A lot of people, they would interpret an F with a PH, There was Pho, he spelled it Phoe. Fable, Phable, that's making it their own. Plus, a PH looks cool.
Yeah.
So that's where that comes from for a little backstory. And I stayed connected to it for most of my life. There was times when I dipped out to go snowboarding for a couple of years back in the mid-90s where I really disappeared from doing any of that stuff. But a lot of my friends stayed with it, some professionally, some just kept it in their lives. And you have to make the effort to keep it in your life. And so, I have. And so anyways, picking up to Long Beach, I got invited to go down there to do that. And, we plan to do it on a weekend when everybody can be there and, because everybody's an adult and has jobs and things like that. So we all meet down there and it's impromptu, which is fun. It's certain people have plans, certain people don't. But how it goes to the wall is, maybe a small conversation about who's going where, what the imagery is going to be, maybe the background to tie everybody's piece in, because everybody's either doing their name or a character or something like that. So that's the fun part because it's so loose and it's planned, but it's not, and then it's kind of whatever happens. And for me, when I paint, I have an idea and a color scheme a little bit sometimes, but I also like to be prepared to have a lot of different options because I don't know until I get there what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I go through a full-blown, for the 24 hours prior, I go through multiple different sketches that I look at, that I base it off of. Some people go straight from what they sketch on a piece of paper to the wall, and they're really good at it.
There is a difference between tagging. I've since learned this. There's a difference between tagging and doing a wall or doing a piece. There's so many complexities, so it's really hard for the average, person that isn't very well versed in it. So when I said we were going to make this video, I had told Spence, I said, I was doing that live stream on that day, and there were so many questions, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't want to answer them either inaccurately, and I know and think about it. I've been with you for 7 years. and I've been very immersed in that whole thing, but I still don't know as much. Like there's so much history.
But you're a good representative for people who don't know, because you can ask questions and you can translate. You can be the go-between.
Yeah, and I remember what it was like. I'd be like, why would you misspell surf? Like, why do you write that?
She would even just say, why are you writing that all the time? Or why don't write this? Why not write my name?
Why don't write? I never said my name. Let's be real.
I think you did.
I think it would be cooler if you wrote Katie.
You jokingly had said it, but
I am just kidding. No, I still think it would be really cool. It'd be better if you wrote Katie because she's cooler than you.
You can write Katie.
I could try.
You do. Katie can actually draw. But
I'm teasing, by the way, guys. we have a very sarcastic relationship. It's what makes us happy. So just an FYI. But yeah, so there's a lot of questions. So
some of the other ones, a lot of it was related to the name and what is
like,
TCF?
Does it stand for stuff? What's the difference between doing an actual piece versus like, somebody saying, I'm doing I'm going to go do tagging, like there's so many things. Like there's a tag, there's a quick tag, there's train tag, there's things that are legal, things that are not legal.
A tag is almost like a signature. If you can think about it in those terms of like, it's just a quick,
I said that wrong. I was like, things that are illegal, things that are not legal. I meant things that are illegal and things that are legal. And what you did here and what you've pretty much been doing is legal beagle.
Yeah, I don't...
Did you ever dabble in the illegal?
Oh, yeah, you have to. I honestly don't think that you could even consider yourself in that game if you hadn't done that, at least for a little while.
Yeah.
There's critics who would say that you have to continue to be that way, but I don't agree with that because, and I know a lot of people who used to be, heavy into like the illegal stuff, but now have lives and kids and things to worry about, that you selfishly going out and doing that and getting caught is going to mess a lot of people's lives up. So
and it's funny because some people really hate the look of graffiti. They don't get it. They don't like it, and I
understand that.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That was a big thing that I tried to let people know, is that we're not. I just because I like it and you like it doesn't mean that. I think we got a lot of that. Remember when we made a video looking at the graffiti towers in Los Angeles? That was a really big kind of dividing thing, but it was where a lot of people would say I just can't stand the look of graffiti.
I think it looks terrible, and that's okay. I mean,
that's fine. That's what you have to understand. I look at Avengers Campus at Disneyland, DCA, and I think it's horrible. I don't like any of it, but a lot of people love it, and it's okay. So
I think
guess
there's
that's
also
the point,
what ends up happening though is there's a lot of emotion involved in people's reactions to it because there's that layer of vandalism and defacement that is attached to it, and it doesn't always attach to it, but it's there, and so when people see it, their brain reacts in a way of what are you doing, as opposed to, oh, hey, that's kind of interesting that you're doing those colors. They can't even see that because they're so caught up in the fact that, hey, did you have the first thing some people will say is, hey, do you have permission to do this? And I understand that, but at the same time, so there's this weird connection to that because
how many times have you seen a nice wall on, say you're out wherever, in a city, and you'll see a really bad tag that defaced property. That is a very different thing than what Spence is doing. So I don't know what you did back in the day, but I'm saying now.
Right, but also understand this, that they do have, when I say that people try to attach it to it, when they see somebody doing a nice painting and, hey, are you doing this legally or whatever? Mm-hmm. It's an okay thing to assume because it does exist, and a lot of people, that's how they start. A lot of kids, including myself, start out by doing an ugly tag on a wall and realizing, oh wow, I'm either really bad at this and I have to get better at this, or in my case, I wasn't really good at tagging, so I wanted to do pieces because when I saw pieces that were really nice, how it made me feel is I wanted to make other people feel that way. And so I didn't really get too deep into the tagging thing. But it is a part of it, because in the evolution of your work, you start out with a tag, and then you thicken it up and make it like a what we call a throw up. You're throwing it up real quick, and then you put some 3D on it, and then it becomes a little bit more, and that's how you grow.
One of the guys that Spencer was painting with actually was the person that did some of the graffiti style art for Moon Girl. Is it Moon Girl that was over there in Disney California Adventure?
Yep.
He actually painted that.
Yeah.
We remember looking at it when we first saw it, and Spence was like, dude, that's some style right there.
It's in one of our videos, I think, because I was like, the Moon Girl stuff, I said somebody really, either they hired somebody or they really did their homework, because all the elements that they're using are correct and they're done correctly and they're in the right context, because I've seen commercial artists try to recreate graffiti and it would fool the average person, but any graffiti artist would know, like, dude, this is, it's not real. You could tell. So that was fun that happened,
It was fun watching. Again, day one was great. Greta came, Dylan from Theme Park Obsession, he comes up to almost every time Spence is doing something. He's there to support.
Dylan's an artist too. I don't know if anybody really knows that. Look at his B-roll, that'll tell you. But so he loves it and he gets it, and he always ends up like hanging out and talking to the other artists there, and because he gets it, and he also kind of like Katie, like we'll talk about stuff, and we'll talk about color choices and where to go next, and he's involved in it with us, which is really fun.
You might have seen on the live stream, like when I was doing the stream, he was kind of discussing some colors with you, and so it's stuff like that. Amongst just being beyond all that, he's just being a really good friend, and I know we've said this time and time again, but I never want it to be forgotten, though, that Dylan is that friend that, if you've been following this channel for a long time, we went through some horrible stuff. That guy never wavered. Even when it would have been better for him to just go with the other side and go with the lies, but he couldn't do it. He literally couldn't do it as a conscious, So my point is, Dylan's awesome. It was so great having him there.
Like, there'll be a time, so I'll get out a new color, or I'm trying to blend something, whatever, and it's like, I'll start doing it, I'll start laying it in, and I'm kind of trying to see if it works, and I'm like, ooh, it's kind of working, and I'll hear Dylan go, oh yeah, that, dude, that's like, he'll affirm it.
Your eyes back there.
Yeah, because I have to step back when you're doing stuff that's a little bit bigger. You have to step back to really see. You're doing it up close, but then you got to back up and go, okay, how does it really look?
Right.
And so I'll always hear him say, oh, dude.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's it. I know. And then if he doesn't say anything, I'm like, shoot, this color's probably not. This isn't working because I didn't wow Dylan. But that's another thing about that art form is you're painting a wall that one's about 8 feet maybe, as far as how much I was painting, because it was as far as I could reach, and then a little bit higher. Scaling it is a weird thing because you have to, like I said, you got to back up.
Right.
And you think about guys that paint buildings like Obey and Tristan Eaton, like,
massive.
It's insane. And there's a little trick that I heard that Tristan Eaton does. He'll take a GoPro and mount it somewhere to where you can get a wide shot of the entire wall. While he's on a scaffolding this close to the wall, there's a camera shot from far back, so he doesn't have to come down off the scaffolding, walk out across the street and go look at it. He can look at the GoPro shot and just see what he's doing.
Right.
Yeah, so it's, and again, that's probably a technique that maybe he got from somebody else. Maybe he learned it. I don't know.
It's amazing.
That's what's fun about this medium is that kind of thing. And while that's mural kind of stuff a little bit, graffiti has like heavy duty rules and regulations about freehand spray paint, never using tape or guides or stencils or anything like that. Rules about when you can go over things and who you can go over, and like a throw up can go over a tag and a piece can go over a throw up, but it can't go the other way. Like if you tag over a piece, that's like,
I said this could be a whole nother video. There's so much to it.
Yeah.
Day 2 we showed up, I think about like 10 or 11, and we were going to do a live stream, but we were so tired that we didn't charge the what is it, the portable charger.
Yeah.
So we were like, you know what, we're gonna finish and enjoy the day, and it was great. I'm actually happy we did that because most of the people that were there kind of came to finish their pieces.
Yeah, and just hang out.
And I think it actually ended up being better to do that.
Yeah.
So it was really fun. So now here is a look at the finished piece, and I'll let you talk about it. Obviously, you should tell us, like, why did you choose the colors you did? Why did you put the little things in there that you did, and what are the things that you put in there, you know?
Right. So this thing was half a block from the water, and the idea was to, keep it in kind of a beach theme. My color choice was kind of 80s beach a little bit. Like, I wanted bright colors,
Right.
and I couldn't really decide on what I wanted, so that's why every letter got a different scheme, and it was just kind of playing around just to have fun, to keep it bright and fun. And I also have always had just flowy type of letters. I like that. I don't know if it's because I surf the S. Everything's flowy and curvy, so I like to have my pieces have movement in them and flow and stuff. And I feel that's watery, liquidy.
No, it definitely. It was like the '90s vibe.
Yeah,
it was like a lot of '90s.
My beach kind of references are very subtle. They're more abstract in this piece. I still may go back and do some background stuff.
Yeah, I think a few people said they're going to go back and do.
Because it's just, my background is just, black negative space, which I like, but at the same time, we don't like to leave too much space in between because somebody will come and tag it. And it's nice to put that imagery in there, because for people who maybe don't understand the graffiti side of it and the lettering, when they see that, they kind of go, oh, that's nice, I get it. Like, we're down by the beach and they're honoring that when they were painting this. They weren't here just, blowing up themselves and their name. They get it. They see the forest for the trees and whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, hopefully we'll go back and do some more.
There's rain in the forecast for the next 4 days. So if it happens, it'll have to be like the following weekend.
Yeah.
We'll see. We're going to play it by ear.
Now there's some little elements that I put in just as like dedications, because a lot of people sometimes they'll put this stuff in their piece. They'll write names either below or around, dedicating to some other crew members or people that they care about or whatever, So there's a reference to Greta right there. You can see a little paw print. She got up on the S right there, and then Katie's up there on the S as well. Got like a little logo.
Katie's pretty great.
Yep. And this one's a little abstract because she's in the abstract, but this is Binky. It's a B. She's got almost like a little crown and a little halo in the S. And then if you go over to the E in the bottom, we got a little TCF hidden in there for the crew, chosen few. And then in the R, G1, that's for Gorilla 1. And there's also a big old hidden Mickey.
He's not hidden, but we call it a hidden Mickey. But
yeah,
it's not.
He's in there, and yeah, so that's fun to do that kind of stuff.
We'll have to go back, though, and show you the completed wall. We couldn't get too many clips of the wall because people were still finishing by the time we were leaving.
Yeah.
So I promise we will go back. Once it is completed, we'll let you know exactly like where it's at, because a lot of people wanted to go and see it and take photos.
Yeah.
We're talking about that in the live stream. I just don't want to give you the whole exact address until it's completed. I would feel bad to do that to
the other artists. Yeah. I don't, because I was invited, so I'm not the leader of that, and it's a lot of the DCV crew. Shout out to the DCVs. I don't want to be presumptuous and give it away yet, because it's always a bummer when you take a couple days to finish a piece and somebody gets a picture of it like day one, and it gets posted and it goes like all over, and it's like, no, that's not the finished piece. And
so once it is, though, we will let you know so that you can go and see it and take some photos and check it out. After you finished, though, we were really close enough to go to a dog beach, so we took Greta there.
It's LA County's only dog beach, you guys, which is funny because it's really close to Orange County's dog beach. They're both close to their county lines, but it's a place called Rosie's Dog Beach. I found it and I thought, you know what, if we have time, it was pretty close to where we painted.
It was a good way to unwind, though.
Yeah.
It was great. And so May I just say, Greta loved it. She is a beach girl. Let me tell you what.
Dude.
She went crazy. I think this might have been, now it's because she was chilling for the last couple days prior, so I think that had something to do with it, but girl
She
ran.
I mean, look at that. She's nuts.
No, she genuinely had the best time. And it was nice because it was, on the day that we did that, it was daylight savings.
Oh, so it was the first long day.
It was kind of fun to be out there in the sunshine, doing that, and it was just before sunset.
In the harbor there, it was. I don't think I've ever been to where we went.
No, I hadn't.
Right there below the harbor. I mean, you could kind of see the Queen Mary from where we were.
Uh-huh.
It's right there.
It was really nice. I think we're definitely going to do, and people had suggested to go explore Long Beach more, and
Yeah.
I feel bad that we haven't because there was so much we wanted to see and do. So we will go back, I promise.
Yeah, even
Leave your
Sunken City.
Yeah, leave your suggestions though if you have some fun suggestions. Leave them in the comments below. We will definitely check everything out.
Yeah.
So after that though, we were pretty hungry, but we decided why don't we just stay on Pacific Coast Highway?
Yeah.
And that was awesome.
Yeah, just a cool drive down. We were we wanted something to eat, and we were like, should we stay around here?
Yeah.
Should we go somewhere else? And we just started driving, and we ended up just getting on PCH and going south, and didn't want to stop. We go, oh, that looks pretty good, but we'd be like already a block past it, and be like, do you want to go back? Like, no, just keep going. So we just kept driving.
But it was a beautiful sunset
It
drive.
was. That's why we didn't want to stop, I think. And you could keep seeing it out the car, and
it was gorgeous.
It burned for a while.
Yeah.
And so much so that we ended up in Huntington, and we're like, let's just go to Pacific City because we know that place.
Yeah.
And we went to Simsi's. It sits right there on the edge of Pacific City, overlooking the pier and the sunset.
It was like the finale to a wonderful day, and we hadn't really eaten.
No.
I think we just had
toast,
breakfast, or I think I had a half of a bagel at like 9 o'clock. So by the time we ate, it was like 7:45, 8 o'clock. And let me tell you, best burger I ever had because I was so hungry, and it was good. I got a mix of like sweet potato fries and regular fries, which was like a half and half option. Excellent.
Chilling under the heat lamps.
Yep. Greta ate her sweet potato chewy, and she had her leftover like food.
Yeah.
It was so good. When I tell you that was the best burger ever, though, I really mean it. It hit the spot. It was all together. It was a wonderful day. It was a wonderful time. I'm glad that we did everything we did. Greta had a good time.
Yeah.
It was fun meeting some new faces for me, and then seeing old friends that we had made by doing this. Doing this. And next up is Vegas. That's the next place. I think actually you have to paint a paint lid.
Yeah, the next thing is we have a little art show in Louisville, Kentucky. It's 151 artists. How's this? And it's Artists for Trauma. I think it's for that cause. And we're all painting 1 gallon paint can lids. You know, the circular lids that you pop off the paint cans. Everybody's painting the underside of a paint lid, and they're cool because they already got a bunch of paint on them, and sometimes they're rusted or whatever. But I think the idea was that they needed something because it's so many artists, and a lot of them aren't from that town. A lot of the art's being shipped in.
Yeah.
So it's a easy way to put something in an envelope and ship it out that doesn't cost a lot to ship. And so that's coming up.
Then Vegas.
In Vegas, we're doing the art show in Vegas with Dirk Cobain and friends.
And then a few more things after that, but they're still in the very beginning.
Yeah, and then there's some stuff that got spawned out of this Long Beach situation. Nothing's in stone yet, but there's a lot of talk about some other opportunities and things. So that's all I ever would ask for out of this stuff is like to get to just keep doing it, you know. I mean, I could paint the wall in our backyard, but it's not the same.
Yeah, and by the way, you don't get paid for this. This is purely like for the love of the.
It's out of pocket. Yeah, it's all love. Yeah, shout out to everybody down there, especially Honor. Thank you, buddy, for having me. Firo, Aphex, Core One, Markski, Trickster, Ray, Sin. I think I got everybody. And then there was a bunch of homies that came through. Jersey, Shucks One came through. There's a bunch of people that came through. That's what makes it fun. That's why I like it. Like I said, we could paint the wall in the backyard, but it wouldn't be the same because it's fun having everybody there and getting inspired and watching how other people do their thing, and it's, you know, it's so relaxing because all we're doing is painting a wall. All we got to do is paint a wall.
Gave art to a community.
It's just fun. And thank you, shout out also to the neighbors. They also made this possible because they're the ones who wanted us to come down there and do this. It's their view, it's their alley, and the support that they gave, as well as
Taco Bell.
they came with like 100 tacos for everybody at one point.
If you saw the live stream, you saw.
Yeah, just amazing support from the community and the artists. So shout out to everybody, Belmont Shore, Long Beach, DCVs.
Cheers.
Boom.
And shout out to Keno's for letting us chill here.
Yeah,
Have an
Keno's.
amazing breakfast.
And when you come to Keno's and you get to sit under the Keno board, come on, this is like the royal table. Thank you, Keno's. Yeah, dude, the Peppermill fireplace is so sick. There's the bar. We got to hit the bar sometime.
Old Vegas.
It's the Sands photo with the Rat Pack.
Wow, look at the cards.
Dude, see, I knew this place felt like Vegas. There's the crew. Hey, look, you could gamble. You could play the lottery, or you could do the claw game too.
So good. And I got to go. Food for the grandparents.
It's not raining, thank goodness. It's supposed to be it rained this morning.
We're going to have to take Greta on a walk.
All right, well, thanks for coming along. Hope you guys enjoyed the painting and all that stuff. I know it's a little different for us, but you're going to see more and more of it on the channel because that's what we're doing lately. Thanks to our Patreons. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.